Welcome, my peeps, my peoples. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the video. It'd be greatly appreciated from the bottom of my heart, my peeps, my peoples. Peep Squad is in the building, baby. We going to the top, to the top, to the top, baby. We want to bring others with us, so let's get it popping. Let's get it cracking. Let's talk about Real Housewives of Potomac Season 4, Episode 5. It's going in, it's going down. We see Ashley and Candice are going to be going back and forth with each other because you know Candice is accusing Ashley of not really wanting to have a baby because she's doing all that drinking. And you know Ashley's like, girl, you better step away. You better step back because this ain't what it is. You don't know what you're talking about. You're supposed to be my friend and speak for yourself. Don't speak for the group, girl. I was like, And then we got Karen. She's breaking down. Her and Gizelle going back and forth over whether she should have talked to the lady from Target, whether she shouldn't, whether she should have told, Gizelle her business. And why did she tell Gizelle's friend her business? And Gizelle introduced her to the businesswoman. I was like, okay, but what was really good was also them going to the plantation. Going to the plantation was really something really good that they did go to. And it was nice just to see them talk about our history and what happened to our people and the injustice that happened to us. And especially with women that was pregnant, carrying babies, and the torture that our ancestors went through. And they still haven't been recouped from that. No one has still paid for what they did to our ancestors. Raping our men, our women, especially rape. That's why there's so many different mixtures. And it was a good thing that, Robin and also Gizelle brung it up like, okay, yeah, I'm light skinned. I know I look like this, but it wasn't by choice. My ancestors was raped. They was forced. We're totally different from you, Katie. Your mother is black and your father is white. It was a choice thing, but it wasn't a choice with Gizelle and Robin. So it was so good for them to show that too as well. And that's why you see in my videos ADOS reparations. Our ancestors did not get their reparations. They didn't get the things that they deserve. Our people still be beaten, mistreated. Our kids are getting shot. They're giving us poison in the water, and all this other stuff, this food, the GMO, all types of stuff, and then not having a fair trial. And one thing that was really important about, when they went to the plantation, when Gizelle's father or the other guy said that, at 10 years old, you was considered an adult, your childhood was over, you had to work the farm. So that makes so much sense why the cops and the police, can shoot our kids down in the street at 10 years old because they don't see them as kids, they see them as adults. And there was a study done on this, and I did do a video about this where all the top universities got together and said that people don't see African American black children as being children once they reach a certain age, so they can't identify them. That's why it's so easy for a cop to pull the trigger on a kid. It's so easy for a judge and a jury to sentence a 10-year-old to life sentence and an adult prison. Like, it's so easy because they don't see our children as children. They can't identify. And this goes all the way back then when slaves was on plantations. And then that same mentality still goes on to today, because I recently last year did a video about it. So it's crazy, but it was a good episode. I'm glad Gizelle did bring that information up. And then they did talk about, also, knowing your history and where you come from and just knowing who you are. So that's how you can identify who's ADOS. ADOS, descendants of slaves. And we need our reparations. We want our reparations now. Our kids need it, our grandkids need it, and we need to have an upper hand in this world because we never had the upper hand. We got to fight, we got to struggle, we got to deal with discrimination, racism when we go to jobs, when we go to interviews, when we go ask for loans from banks, when we try to move out of bad communities, when we are profiled, when we're driving our cars. So we still get treated bad, and they let a little few in, but them few that they let in, they want to make sure that they're Uncle Toms and they're coons and stuff like that. So anyways, let's get into the episode. So let's start. But I really did appreciate that ADOS in the building, baby. Reparations for my peoples, because none of our ancestors ever got any justice. You know what I mean? Like nobody's been crucified. Nobody's been held to, been in prison, or their property been taken away from. Even the plantations, they're still owned by the government, which, now they're using it as a tourist site. What about the, museums with all our culture, all our people in there? And basically we got to pay to get in there, and then in these fancy museums. And then on top of that, they don't even give to our community or to our people. That's our stuff that they selling, and then they admire the stuff and then hate us at the same damn time. So let's get it popping. But it was really good to see, that part. And then also Gizelle father saying that's the only plantation that is dedicated to the pain and the suffering of African Americans and black people. You know what I mean? So let's get it popping. So let's start off with Karen is still in her back. She's still feeling a certain type of way because she does not like the way that Gizelle came at her. Because Gizelle was like, yo, you won't tell me about your business, but yet you'll tell a stranger that you think that can help you. So basically Gizelle threw Karen under the bus in front of everybody, but she did have a legitimate question. But if she also really wanted to work on that friendship more, she would have pulled Karen to the side. But she feels like she ain't getting the truth from Karen anyway, so what's the point? Because Wendy Williams says she ain't getting the truth from Karen. Gizelle says she ain't getting the truth from Karen, so it is what it is. But anyways, it be what it be. But Jackie, I keep calling Karen Jackie for some reason. She reminds me of Jackie from Basketball Wives. So anyway, so Karen is like, her side is like, this woman is actually a businesswoman, and she actually does this stuff, like put people's products in Target. So why would I not tell her what's going on? She asked me a question. Why would I not answer? You, on the other hand, Gizelle, you're just a friend. We're trying to work on our relationship, and you did me dirty last season, or I feel like you did me dirty. So I don't want to, I just want to work on our friendship. I don't want to share my personal information because to Karen, talking about her business was personal. So, but then you got somebody that can actually make changes to your business and put you in Target, put you in stores. You know what I'm saying? You gonna tell them what's up. So it is what it is. But they both ain't perfect. They both be doing each other back and forth. It is what it is. So, but, Karen comes back to the table. They kind of make a little bit amends to it. Katie, she said something good about, it could have been this, it could have been that. Basically, she melted the ice and made it cool for them to all chill again. And basically, Karen is just like, well, thank you for introducing me to, the Target lady or whatever. But, I didn't want to talk about my business with you because you are not business. Like, we're working on our friendship. And then this is when Gizelle jumps in like, you know what? I just wanted to, if we're supposed to be friends, you can't tell me what's going on in your business, what you doing. Karen was like, no, I don't tell nobody about my business. So it is what it is. They're gonna keep going back and forth. And then we get none other than Candice. She jump into the mix, and basically she talks about the situation with her mama calling her a bitch and shit like that. I'm just trying to tell you, her mom should not even be on the show because she could not be my therapist. Like, the way she treats her daughter and the way she talks to her daughter is terrible. And it's just like, she did a good job raising her and everything like that, but keeping her away from her half brother and basically keeping her hostage to your money because you let that behavior go on where you'll do everything for your daughter and your daughter won't do shit for herself. So that's the reason why that she depends on mama, and she looking for mama for a handout. She's looking for mama for this. She's looking for mama for that. You should have told her to be more independent. Then that way you won't have to feed her, and you wouldn't be coming into, you wouldn't all three be paying the mortgage together, and then on top of that you come there and you vacation for a week or a month in the house where this young couple is just way too much. Mama got a man, but I don't know. Anyways, here goes Ashley. Ashley's actually defending, Candice, like, damn, your mother is terrible. Your mother told you that you was bipolar at the table, and she diagnosed you at the table, and she treated you like that. Like, damn, that's wrong. And so basically Ashley was like, her mother is bad parenting, and she should be fired as a therapist to say that about her child at the dinner table. Like, damn. So Candice has probably been going through, mental and emotional abuse and control that her mother has that control, that therapy mind of control, where you understand how to use people, how to manipulate them, and have them under your wing and under your control because it's easy to play games with them. And that's not the type of person you want to deal with. I'm just like, damn. Then we got Karen. She's at the table. She's crying because she just wants, Candice to make it with her mother because she just lost her mother, and she knows what it's like to not have your mother here. So she wished that Candice and her mother didn't waste any more time. And she was real touched on the situation. And Karen, that little ponytail look good, but them corn braids, girl, too much. She said, I look Afrocentric. No, you look a mess with a wig that is corn braided. Okay, baby? But, I still got love for you, Karen. I got love for you, lady. And so we got Gizelle. Basically, she's in her bag. She's like, whatever, it's clever. So she goes upstairs to her suite with Katie. And she also brings, Candice with her because supposedly Candice got some information on, on Karen. And Candice, Karen ain't shared no personal information with Candice. She just acting like her mother mother playing the same mind games, and her friends. Karen ain't telling nobody her deep, darkest secrets no more. Not after they done came looking for her and they done came out the closet. She ain't trying to do that whatsoever. So basically they're talking about, Karen. They're trying to get some information about Karen, and basically to Candice was like, I don't know anything personal about about Karen, how she's feeling and what she's going through or whatever, but I know that she's going through something because she's grieving. So by you testing her and trying to demand things from her and questioning her and kind of being a little, funny with her, give her some time to grieve because she's still at a sensitive place. That was a good thing that Candice did. Candice was almost her way out the door without any drama, and then Candice had to mention to Gizelle and Katie that she feels like Ashley's not really trying to get pregnant because all the drinking, and she don't think she's serious. Then in the back of her mind, she knows that Michael was out here talking about he wanted to put his mouth on another man and give him fellatio. So then we have Ashley. She's talking to her mother. She finds out that she got her period, so there's nothing else to do for her but to party and have a good time because she can't get pregnant there and New Orleans because she's on her period and Michael's not there. So basically she's gonna wait till she get home and try all over again. And so it is what it is. But yet you have Candice in the next room talking about she lying, girl. But Ashley did the same thing to Monique. She accused Monique of being a drunk and all this other stuff and having a drinking problem. And Monique, she did get into a car accident. She said she fell asleep, but Ashley was like, you was throwing down them drinks, girl. So we have Monique, she's chilling with Karen. Her and Karen are cool right now. They're talking about trusting each other and working together and just being friends, and then also, just making their friendship better. And then on top of that, she's talking about her mother-in-law is coming to town, and it's the first time her mother-in-law is going to be in her house. And basically she's just and then they talk about Candice a little bit about Candice's situation about Southern mothers. You say anything or question them, they get back at you so quick and they think it's disrespect. And so she feels like that's how, her husband Chris's mother is or whatever. But, it is what it is. Every Southern woman ain't like that. They can listen to what you gotta say as long as you ain't being disrespectful. But it is what it is. So them are cool. So they kind of like Shay. So all the ladies are waiting and in the hotel lobby, basically waiting to go to the plantation to visit with Gizelle's father and find out about her heritage and her history too as well. And then Gizelle shades Ashley a little bit about the flowers. I was waiting for you to bring the flowers out. Oh, flowers. And she was like, I wanted to make people happy. Ashley caught it and she threw it right back. That's why I like Ashley. She throws it right back. And then you have none other than Candice. She's over here. She got the booty coochie shorts on, and that's what what's her name? Ashley was feeling a certain type of way, like, oh, she got on the cootie coochies. She got on the cootie coochie shorts. So it is what it is with that situation. So I was just like, okay, so they're getting ready to go. Everybody's happy. Everybody seems like, they're ready to go. We find out that Gizelle's father, ran for office. Like he was a civil rights activist too as well. He marched with Martin Luther King Jr. He sat right next to Martin Luther King Jr. He went to DC and make sure that there was fair wages and stuff like that. I mean, we had to fight for everything that we had to get, and other people piggyback off of our fight and our plight and get more of the pie, the American pie that we should be able to get. But just because of the color of our skin, people hate us and don't like us. You don't gotta do nothing. You'll get followed around in stores, people watching you like you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, and then basically our people did so much to make this world a better place and invented so much stuff, and things got stolen, from music to inventions to everything, and we never recouped. So that's why ADOS is in the building, baby. Reparations all day for me and my peoples, baby. That's what I'm talking about. So this was a great episode, so I was into it. So we get to meet Gizelle's father. He's a little cutie, he's handsome and everything. He's flirting with the girls, and he also throwing shade at none other than Karen, talking with Karen, what borrowing is, because I guess he's either been watching the show or Gizelle's been telling him, Karen's broke. And he watched Wendy Williams' episode where Wendy Williams was like, we know she's broke, you can't go shopping with me, Karen, you ain't got no money. Like, what do you mean you was out the country? Wendy Williams just ripped Karen a new one. Karen Huger, a new one. She should have never went on that show, baby. But she handled it. She handled it well. So they're at the plantation. This is the awful, awful, low down, dirty type of metal that they will put around our people's neck and make them suffer. And then they had boxes what they'll put them in, what they'll be in their feces. Our ancestors, our people, they never got justice for what happened to them. They, nothing. And basically, we want our reparations, and we want them now, baby. Everybody else got their reparations. What about us? Our people was tortured. And our people are still being tortured and mistreated and unfairly convicted and locked up behind bars over and over and over. So, basically, we need our reparations. And this was just so sad and so hurtful too as well, just to see what our people struggled through. And we say we came a long way, but there's so much more we need to go. And these are the plantation people, ancestors and everything. And they even spoke about, the woman getting raped and everything like that by other Caucasian males and stuff like that. And she had 8 children, and just all the injustice that happened, just being raped, and no one is held accountable for it. So that's where Me Too should be at. What happened with our ancestors? Me Too, our ancestors. What happened to them and the pregnant women? It's just awful. It was just so sad too as well. And this is where Gizelle's father shades Karen. I was just like So well, about borrowing Karen. I was like And so then this is a memorial that's dedicated to the children and women that were pregnant. They put the woman that was pregnant in a hole, her belly in a hole and stuff like that, just to basically damage the baby, hurt the baby. And then the woman, I even have a video about how they used to play a game called Nigga Baby on these plantations. So it's just crazy. It's just awful what happened to our people, what they went through, and these children, their faces and everything. Yeah, this was just way... Look at these kids. Still trying to hope that there's a better world. And in 2019, our people are still suffering and getting killed. And unjustly. And then moving on from that, you have all the names of, people that were... our ancestors that were slaves, our people, our peeps, our peoples, our family, our ancestors that wrote their names on the list in Louisiana. Just so much. And then we have Karen. She's on the phone with her husband. He was like, I like your Afrocentric look. And she was like, yeah, I got the cornbraids. And the cornbraids are terrible. But anyways, the ladies are getting ready to go out to the strip in New Orleans. But Karen decides to stay in the house because she don't want to party. You know what I'm saying? She don't want to party. I'm just going to tell you this. I know a lot of people that are older and old school. And when somebody dies, they don't go out and party. They wait a whole year after the person has passed. And then they go out and they'll have party. But they mourn for a year. They don't go to celebrations. They don't go to parties. But, Karen also went to a wedding or whatever, but that's kind of like different than walking a strip or whatever. And then she's on TV. Some people do really go by like you should not, especially family members. They'll look at you like, for some people, be like, you can't be out partying, you just lost your mother, you just lost your father. Like, come on. Like, they some people consider it as disrespect, and some people consider partying as praising, and wishing the deaf well and over their plight to wherever they need to go so they won't be in purgatory or whatever. So we have that situation. So it is what it is. So now, the ladies are downstairs because, they're getting ready to go out and they're all dressed up. But there's a problem because Gizelle finds out that Karen is on IG and not chilling with them. So she's taking it personal. She's taking like, oh, she don't really want to be my friend. Well, it was a tough dinner for number one. So, so that was a situation. It was a tough dinner. And you have that. So, but she was just like, yo, like, come on, she don't want to be with her family, her friends down here. You guys ain't friends. And people that she know, but she rather be on IG with a bunch of strangers. So you got Gizelle talking about how come you ain't coming downstairs? Why ain't you answering me? Like, you don't want to, chill with your real friends. You don't want to do this. And blogs, they basically just stalking her IG while she's on Instagram live and everything. And, Gizelle is like making sure everybody know, and she's pointing out that Karen is being superficial. She's being fake. Like, but she's on IG. but maybe she just didn't want to go out clubbing. You guys had a wonderful time. It didn't seem like Karen was in that space to be fun, like how they were having fun. Monique is just there because Monique is trying to get that paycheck, and Monique feels like she did a lot of shit last season, so she's just trying to stay on the up and up, and she's just trying to stay cool and participate and keep her nose clean while she is pregnant right now. So she ain't saying nothing. It's just like, okay. And so basically the ladies, they're drinking, they're having a good time, they on the bus, they partying, they started talking about their ancestors. And then when they went to the bar and they got shots, do you see how thick that these shot glasses are? I have not went to no bar in no time soon where the shot glasses are like that big. Like, I mean, they pour that much in the shot. Right now, they got rules and regulations where the legal minimum you only can pour this, and they have the amount of glass, the size that equal the legal amount of liquor, straight liquor that you can get. I was just like, they party in New Orleans, baby. They're doing a real shot, so they get back to the house and everything's cool, or whatever. They get back to, Gizelle's, presidential suite or whatever, and the conversation comes up about, Candice don't think that Ashley really wants to get pregnant, so that shit goes in. Then you have Robin, she talks about it. She's like, so you don't really think that she wants to get pregnant? You got Gizelle was like, well, Candice doesn't think you want to get pregnant. I know Candice was like, I shouldn't have said shit to nobody, should have kept my mouth closed. And so Candice and Ashley go back and forth. Ashley was like, how could you say that? I just had a miscarriage and this and that and all this stuff that happened to me. Just because I'm drinking doesn't mean that I don't want to get pregnant. What are you talking about? Where's the medical evidence? And so then we have Candice talking about, yeah, well, I know if you went to go see fertility doctors, you went to this place and that place, you shouldn't be drinking, blah, blah, blah. And then this is when Candice is like, and then Ashley was like, when did you get your doctor degree? She was like, well, I inherited it from my mother and my daddy. So anybody that was really want to get pregnant, they won't put alcohol in your system. But there's no, I think there is, like, most of the time that I watch these TV shows, the doctor says the lady, slow down on your drinking. And I know alcohol is not good. Alcohol is actually poison for your body, so that's number one. And so if you're really trying to conceive and be healthy and make sure you have a baby, you won't drink alcohol, but doesn't say that it's going to stop you from getting pregnant, because evidently we already know that Ashley's pregnant. She got a baby. She's pregnant, she's going to soon have her baby or whatever. So they go back and forth. And so now Ashley's on one and just like, basically, I can't believe you're supposed to be my friend, this and that. Then you have Monique. She's in the back. She was like, yep, it seems like deja vu, because this is the same thing Ashley was accusing me of. Now it's turned around on her, so she's feeling a little bit of a vindication over here. I was just like, But next episode's gonna go in. We gonna see Karen, Hugo, and Gizelle go back and forth. And it just seems like Gizelle's also painting a picture for everybody to see that Karen, you can't be her friend no matter what. Like, she's trying to be her friend, and Karen's is just fake and fugazi. But Karen don't really deal with Gizelle, because Gizelle, did a lot of shit to her last year too as well. So, and Karen did shit to Gizelle too as well. So if they really need to forgive each other, move on and have a good time, because they both did each other dirty. They both do dirty shit to each other. But right now, after, Karen losing her mother and her father around the same time, I think right now she's ready for it, and she's not ready for it, because this is probably difficult for her to film too as well, losing two parents. No matter how old her parents are, whatever, you lose your parents, and especially if you're close to them. But I guess it seems like Gizelle's pointing out more of Karen's flaws, and at the same time, while Gizelle's trying to point out Karen's flaws, some of her flaws are showing, and nitpicking are showing too as well, and not being considerate that Karen is still hurt by the shit that went down last season, and then her losing her parents. So we'll see you guys next Sunday. Peace and my one love to all my peeps and my peoples. Peep Squad is in the building, baby. We going to the top, baby. We're gonna bring others with us. Peace.